Okay, sorry. My phone, I ran out of space. I had to delete some things in order just to finish this. So I'm just going to try to get this part out really quick. It'll take, I'll have to pick up the video again tomorrow because it's going to take a couple hours for me to upload it. But just to get it off my phone to get the space. But so he tells me that he's like, that he's buzzing or that he's floating, that he's okay. It struck me as so awful. Like, I got that he was saying like, but he, like, what he was saying was like, I'm fine because I'm on drugs, essentially. And like, that just didn't seem like him. Like, at least the entire time I known him, like, he had said that that was something from his past, but like, he didn't come across to me like a drug user. Of course, I didn't know those things very well at all. It's not like I could have pinpointed those things to begin with. It just didn't feel right. He wasn't talking like himself. He wasn't being like himself. Now, at the same time, he was 24. He had recently turned 24 and was about to open his own restaurant. He was a chef and like, what is it with these fucking murderous cannibals being chefs? That's something else. I don't know what he was actually involved in when it came to that. I know that being a chef was always a dream of his, that owning a restaurant was always a dream of his, that he had worked extremely hard in order to get into a position where he could he bought this old restaurant and he had been renovating it and he was planning on opening it and he had all these different things that he was doing. And I'd just been recently married, so I'd kind of fallen out with him a bit about like being there during that time and during all that process. But as it was getting closer to him opening it up, I was like really trying to be supportive of those things. And like, he had sent me like the menu to show me how it was. And like, I talked about like designing different things for him and stuff like months prior. And it was not long, before he was supposed to open his restaurant. But it's February 13th of 2013, which, like, if you know anything about the occult and the way that these types of things work, 02132013. And I don't know. I just had these really weird vibes. But that was all that he said, and then I couldn't get a hold of him. I tried to call him, and I can't remember. He might not have even texted it. I might have called him, and then he said it on the phone, and he didn't sound like, like himself. Like, he sounded like he was like messed up. And he was just like, no, I'm fine. He had told me, that's what it was. He had texted me earlier that day something about being able to get MDMA with one of his friends or something like that. So he's like, so I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. And I was like, that doesn't make things better. So then I was like still trying to call him and still trying to talk to him. By the time I finally got a hold of him, he was like, no, I'm good now. I'm floating. I'm buzzing or whatever. I remember it just really felt bad to me. And he didn't talk to me the rest of the night. But I was like, at this point, like very much like trying to keep track of him. And so the next day is Valentine's Day. My husband didn't give a fuck. He didn't celebrate Valentine's Day with me or anything. Like, it was just another day. It was actually a day for him to be more annoyed because women expect so much on Valentine's Day. So I was like trying my hardest not to expect anything, from him. I had been making plans already that week to do something for him. I wanted to pay for us to go out to eat. Was like trying to, thinking of like what to wear and different stuff like that. But even first thing, like before he even knew anything that was going on, and maybe it's just because he knew that I was like paying so much attention to Alex within the last few days or the last week or whatever, but like he was just upset. He was always like that. We didn't have a good relationship at all, but like he wasn't happy from the get-go that morning. And first thing in the morning, I had tried to call Alex, tried to text him something, couldn't get a hold of him. I went on to Facebook, opened up my Facebook app, and one of the first things that came up on my feed was not a notification, but like a post from a mutual friend on Alex's page. And it said, I can't believe this. And my heart just sank. Because I knew immediately, as soon as I was also like, no fucking way. No way. And I went onto his page and saw that like 4 or 5 other people were like, I can't believe that you're gone. I can't believe this. You were so good, whatever, like putting little things about him. And I was like, no way. No way. And at that point, I mean, I knew it was true because of the things that he had been talking to me about, but at the same time, I didn't really put 2 and 2 together necessarily. I called his best friend, Blaine, who I had met a couple times, you know, and kind of knew, and we talked a few times, and I'd been over at his house maybe once or twice, even, and he confirmed. He said that Alex had slipped and hit his head, and that's how he died. It all seemed very suspicious because I think that I don't even know what the official. I should go and look because I don't even know what the official